Idaho is coming off of a 56-34 loss against Auburn last Saturday, and now prepares for its final home game of the season, its final regular season game of the season, this Saturday against Texas State. That game will be Senior Day, and will kick off at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Central Time from the Kibbe Dome. Coach Petrino, before we get to questions, please give us your thoughts on last week's game against Auburn and the upcoming game against Texas State.
Last week's game, I was really proud of our players. I thought they went out and played with great effort and really competed and played well. Against Auburn, we had a couple turnovers that hurt us, but to play in that atmosphere against a Power 5 team, I thought our guys played really, did a good job offensively. We, had 479 yards, I think it was, but both quarterbacks played well. Trent Cowan had a great game. Kalen Hightower really had a big game. The offensive line did a good job for the most part. Defensively, I thought Quentin Bradley had one of his better games. Jordan Grabsky, was good to have him back healthy, and he went out there and made a lot of tackles, and Caden Ellis played well. So overall, I thought the guys really competed and did a good job in that game. Now we have our last game of the year. We got to make sure everybody goes out and plays their hearts out for our seniors so they can leave the Dome with the win in their last home game.
Thank you, Coach Petrino. As a reminder, please press star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions. Our first questions come from a caller in Seattle, Washington. I apologize. I remember you've called in before, but could you please identify yourself before asking questions for Coach Petrino?
Yes, this is Michael Sean with the Moscow Pullman Daily News. Paul, just wanted to ask if you had any update on Elijah Penny's status.
I think Elijah's going to be okay. I think by Saturday, I think he'll be good to go. I know he definitely wants to play in the game, and it wasn't as serious as we initially thought, and I think he'll be able to play in the game. So that'll be great for our team and for him.
Mm-hmm. Did you initially think it was season ending?
We were concerned about that. But it's not going to be. And he was on the bike last night, and he was moving pretty well, walking around, and he told me he's going to be good to go.
At what point did he get hurt in the game?
It was in the first quarter. It was he didn't play after that. It was a running play to our left going away from our bench, and he gained about 5 yards, and the guy a guy was in front of him tackling him, and the guy just fell on the back of his legs, and that's when it happened.
Thanks, Paul.
You bet.
Thank you very much, Michael. You mentioned losing Elijah Penny in that game, but how encouraged were you when he went down that, guys like Aaron Duckworth and Isaiah Saunders, picked up, and, Lutton and Linehan to a certain extent, picked up the rushing load when he went down?
I was very encouraging. That was, offensively for next year, the two, we'll lose Elijah Penny and we'll lose Dallas Sandberg in our offensive line, and that's it. We'll have everybody else back. And so, it was a game where we didn't have them, and everybody really stepped up their game, and to score that many points without our leading 1,000-yard rusher was a great job by everybody stepping it up.
And you also hit a few big plays from the receiver end, throwing the ball against Auburn. I mean, you guys, like Hightower, you mentioned in your opening statement, and Cohen, stepping up with big catches. How encouraged were you by their performances on Saturday as well? Yeah,
very encouraged. I thought it was both quarterbacks hit big plays. We hit Hightower on a deep crossing route. We hit him on 2 fades. We hit Trent Cowan on a couple fades and a couple seams. So it was very encouraging to get those big plays against that good of a team.
All right, Coach. The upcoming game against Texas State. They come into this game following a Thursday night game against Louisiana Monroe, in which they won. What do you see as the biggest challenge when facing the Bobcats this Saturday?
I think Coach Franchione's always done a great job offensively of running the ball. They do a lot of different things schematically that you got to work on to stop the run, and so no question stopping their quarterback and their good running back, running the ball, that'll be the biggest thing for our defense. And offensively, they've kind of changed up a little bit as the year has gone on, so there's just a lot of different looks that you got to work on. So as much as anything, it'll just be got to do a great job in our preparation, because they do a lot both offensively and defensively.
All right, Coach Petrino, thank you very much for your time today.